So I'm coming here from Baltimore. Has anyone here ever been there? Thanks. That's cool. I'm from Baltimore originally, and I find when you're from Baltimore, sometimes people have very silly questions about Baltimore. One that I get a lot is, Baltimore, is it like The Wire? And I'm like, oh, thank you for asking me. A person who would definitely know. The Wire, of course, is an HBO show, not a documentary. It's set in Baltimore. It's about drugs, crime, cops, and you're like, okay, that happens here sometimes too. Like, yeah, like all the time. But Baltimore has so much to offer. It's also like Step Up, or Step Up to the Streets, depending on your neighborhood. And Step Up, if you don't remember, also set in Baltimore. That's a dance film where a young white man introduces a young white woman to hip hop. And that happens somewhere in Baltimore every day. So, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with like what's going on with our mayor right now. I know you guys have your own things going on. I was actually at a show recently. I was like, have you heard about our mayor in Baltimore? And it was in DC, and someone yelled out, your mayor smoked crack. And I was like, no, your mayor smoked crack. We didn't do that. Our mayors just steal stuff. Our mayor, yeah. What happened recently, and it's happened in the last couple of weeks, and it's a real thing, you can Google it. It's not the joke, you know what I mean? I'm gonna do another joke after that. But our mayor was like, okay, we've got a lot of gun violence happening in Baltimore. I know what we'll do. We'll set up a giant boxing ring and let people punch each other until they're not mad anymore. And I was like, whoa, cool, creative problem solving, I love this. And what's funny about that is a real thing that he said, and that's funny to me for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is that he's not even our real mayor. He's our substitute mayor, because our real mayor is under investigation by the FBI, and so she's busy right now, so whatever. He's our substitute mayor, and I think he's bringing a real substitute teacher energy to the whole project. He's like, where in the handbook does it say the kids can't punch each other? I didn't read the handbook. I don't get benefits, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? And I love that too, is like combat as a means of like conflict resolution. I'm just waiting for when I get to mud wrestle my landlord, because he has it coming. I'll be like, see you in the mud, dude. Like, you're gonna get it. It's great. I love it. I love being from Baltimore. I love living in Baltimore. I was walking in Baltimore recently, and I was like, wow, this has been an incredible walk. No one has yelled at me yet. And then immediately someone yelled at me. And I say someone, it's almost always a man. But I will say almost always, because one time it was a white lady with dreadlocks. And I was like, great, good to know this is the energy I'm attracting right now. You know? Glad to know. Apparently I've got a type. Guess I gotta go take a long look at myself and see what I'm doing, that I'm like, yes, you come to me, you know what I mean? Whatever. In any case, usually I get yelled at by men, and usually a lot of people have different tactics, right? Different things that they do when they get yelled at. Some people are like, you gotta turn around and be like, hey, you can't yell at me, it is scary and people don't like it, stop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta like explain to people why it's not okay to yell at people walking on the street anymore. It never was, but it's like, no, but really, don't do it, stop. My reaction most of the time is just to keep walking, right? Because I don't know who's talking to me. I don't want to get involved. I also don't know who they're talking to. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, hey, beautiful, who's to say I'm the beautiful one? So many beautiful people out here, it could be anybody. What this guy said was, hey, you got no butt. And I was like, all right, that one's for me. I'm not confused about who you're talking to. How dare I? How dare I walk without a butt? No one was going to say something about it. It was the perfect crime. I got caught. It's great. I love it. Also, like, it hurt my feelings, obviously. Like, clearly not over it. But, like, I know I have a butt, but I don't have enough of a butt to get into an argument about it. And be confident that I'm going to win. You know, that's the level of butt I'm working with right now. I do feel like if scientists were studying my butt, they'd be like, I'm sorry, it's within the standard deviation of butt. Statistically, your butt does not exist. So the real problem in Baltimore is we have too many scientists going around shouting their findings at people. And that's why I think we should shut down Johns Hopkins. I'm giving it a too good for too long. Just kidding, we can't do that. Our entire economy would collapse. It's great. We're doing really good in Baltimore. One thing we're known for in Baltimore is our rats, and that is well-deserved. Our rats are truly impressive. It's just like, beautiful. They're huge. They're great. And it's the kind of thing that gives me like a misplaced sense of confidence when I come to other cities, because like at first I'm like, oh no, I'm nervous. Like, I don't know anyone here. I'm intimidated. And then I'll see their rats and I'll be like, no. Your rats are too small. You have no power over me. You know what I mean? Your rats are too tiny. I think it's like the city version of like my dad could beat up your dad, but our rats could eat your rats. They could swallow them whole. You know, like spaghetti. That's just I know that that's not a fact, it's just a fun thing that I feel. I also do feel that like rats are just confident mice. You know what I mean? Like just like if a mouse like did a retreat and like did some yoga and like really found itself, it would just become a rat. And I know that's not true. Similarly, another fact that I know isn't true, I do feel like toads are just frogs that are having a really bad day. It's just a thing I feel. And you're like, that's wrong, and I'm like, but it feels right. So, it's cool. I am queer. I am I guess I would term it like a slouch femme. Just like, you know, like you'd be a lot prettier if you would stand up straight, and I'm like, I know. Sorry, I don't know. It's cool. I guess I have kind of a, it's interesting. Dating as a femme can be difficult because you'll be like hanging out with a person for like a while and you'll be like, so what are we? And they'll be like, best friends? I don't know. I have so many beautiful friends, it's crazy. I love it. It's going great. I was raised really Catholic, which was interesting. So, not to be gay about it, but I feel like if different types of Christianity were Broadway musicals. I haven't thought this out the whole way through, but I know deep in my heart that Catholicism is Phantom of the Opera. It just is. You know, you're like, first of all, drama. Second of all, lots of organ music. Third of all, dark secrets. But it's a classic, you know? It's great. It's good. I mean, it's going okay. I did come out to my mom, didn't come out to my dad, so we're whatever. You know, it's whatever, it's fine. I did come out to my mom, and that was difficult for her at first. She has such an interesting personality. So she was the science lady at my vacation Bible study, like vacation Bible, like the summer camp for Bible stuff that you go to when you're a child sometimes. My mom was like the VBS science lady, and that's the energy that she's bringing to everything she's doing. Because she's like, isn't space amazing? Can you believe all the planets? And God did that? Like, that's her vibe. So she's like really nice. I mean, it's been going okay. She has like, it was like a little hard for her at first, but now she's like, you know, being able to explain what the word queer means to her friends, and then she's also explained why you can't say all lives matter to her Bible study, so like, Kathy's an ally. She's really making it happen. It's been fine, and I'm doing okay. I did have a breakup a little while ago, and that's the kind of thing that will like make you come back to yourself and rethink things. Like, I've realized that my biggest fear is being alone. Thank you. Hold your applause. Can you believe I'm doing this right now alone? Stay. Wow. My biggest fear is being alone. My second biggest fear is getting possessed by demons, because I was raised Catholic and I thought that was a real thing that could happen to you. So in many ways, this is progress, because now I'm afraid of something that is real and currently happening. So. And it's the kind of thing where you like sort of like rethink things and you're like, yeah, getting possessed by demons would definitely suck, but at least then I wouldn't have to just listen to my thoughts all the time. Might be nice to get a little company around here. Like, Beelzebub, what do you want for dinner? I'm tired of deciding. So also, you know, there's like hidden benefits too, right? Like, I've always wanted to speak another language fluently. Getting possessed is like Rosetta Stone to the max. You can talk to anybody. I've also wanted to get more athletic, and what's more athletic than doing backflips on the ceiling? You know what I mean? I feel like I could really impress a date that way. I'd be like, oh wow, I wish her head would stop spinning. That form is impeccable. This is a great date. I've been Elizabeth Norman, thank you so much.